Well, how do you do, buckaroos? This is Joe Layton from Cowboys and Indians magazine, and it is my great pleasure today to talk to Amber Midthunder and Emmy Award-winning director Dana Gonzalez about their new film, Centurion, the Dancing Stallion. And I guess the first question to ask both of you is, how difficult was it to get the stallion to dance on cue?
Well, it actually is a dancing stallion, and that's was part of the allure that, I mean, when you read the script and have all these dancing sequences, your first thing you ask is what you asked, how are you going to do this? And the Centurion actually is a real life dancing horse, and there's a story behind that and as well. But that might have been the easy part.
Amber, did you have to do something special in the saddle or holding the reins and say, okay, you can stop dancing now?
I mean, it is an incredibly well designed, I guess, art form, you would call it. It's, the way that these people communicate with their horses is so intricate. So there's a lot of like me sitting on a horse while there was like a man in front of the horse telling the horse what to do. But there was also a lot of like me alone with the horse as well. And I mean, they're also like big, like I grew up with horses, but these are like huge animals. So just that was like kind of, even just like riding these horses or like taking that, we have a scene where I was like riding across the field, and even just like doing that kind of stuff, you just like feel like the power of that animal. And it's just like, it's amazing. And then it's amazing to think about like what they do beyond just that.
Well, I have to admit, I was looking very closely at some scenes because Dennis Weaver, of all people, God bless him, told me this story years ago when he was doing the series Gentle Ben. And they had a trained bear, but every take in which the bear hit his mark was the one that was printed. It didn't matter if there are humans in the shot that might not be getting it right, as long as the bear hit his mark. And I was wondering if there are any scenes where it's like, you, Amber, said, could we get another go of that? I'm sorry, Amber, the dancing stallion danced, and well, that's it.
I don't know. Was it like that, Dana? I don't remember.
No, look, you're working with animals. You're working with time. You have a time element, but Amber actually learned a lot. You could see it in the movie that there's no way, there's nobody else there. She's actually doing these techniques and these drills. So she learned how to do it, and it was just working like that. Like I said, that was what seems like would be a harder thing to do. What was very easy actually. No, it seemed like I don't remember a challenge like that. I just remember it working all the time, and it was kind of incredible that because it's a very short startup, and Amber like learned how to do these maneuvers really quick.
What he's saying is me and the horse were flawless.
Yeah.
No, it was really like, yeah, that there is so much to know, so as much as like, they take these horses and they train them for so long, it's also like there was a lot that I had to learn at the same time. And you also have to like build a relationship with a horse to just even be able to like get on it or come near it or come close to it. So it was like and that's something I haven't ever experienced shooting before. I don't think I've really worked with animals. So I think that compared to the stories you hear, I feel like it was a pretty seamless experience.
Well, how does one build a relationship with a horse? I mean, do you bring them an apple and a carrot every day, or
you're wearing a cowboy hat? I feel like you would know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's almost like the same way that you like build a relationship with a person. I think you just kind of suss each other out, and you don't do anything crazy, and you hope it goes well.
And we were in where Centurion lives and trains, and is where we were shooting in Napa in this ranch. So there was and his trainers, and so there was a lot of. It wasn't like we were bringing this horse into a situation that was foreign. We were literally in his home, And I think that helped a lot.
Well, now you're talking about building a relationship with a human co-star sometimes. Now, we're all professionals. We all know it's make believe. We all know actors aren't the characters that they play on screen. But Amber, did you ever find yourself, in the middle of the scene looking at Billy Zane going, yeah, and you're the son of a bitch who tried to shoot Leonardo DiCaprio?
That was definitely my first thought meeting him. I think that disappeared, fairly quickly because he's just so different from, that character. I think that was so long ago, but that was all that I had in my brain before meeting him and in my first impression of him.
Well, now, when you're on, a shoot like this, and you've got, this on your mind, that on your mind, you're trying to balance all these things. But how heavily did it weigh on the minds of both of you that this is based on a true story? And how much, I don't know, respect do we have to pay to the real life people we're reflecting here? Was that a burden? Was that, how heavily did that figure into your thinking?
I'll go first because I with this, and then Amber, I think could follow up. So it was a fictional story, based in true life, some events that really happened, and the financiers, executive producers were there, and one of them in particular, well, both of them, they experienced this, but so Amber was playing a character that wasn't exactly Nancy Gamble, but it was her story. So, definitely, she was watching this story unfold about, for the whole thing from Centurion to the leukemia diagnosis, everything. So, it wasn't exactly the true story, but
Yeah.
She was literally watching her story happen and trying to, very important to get the accuracy of things. And, but then, we're making a movie and we're trying to, we're telling the story of a younger person. And so it was probably interesting for her to watch that happen, but, she was very caught up in it. And I'm sure Amber, she spoke to Amber a lot about, again, not the exact
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I would say I would agree. I would say that, I think that given that it is, based on true events or based on a true story, but that it is still a movie that we, then fictionalized and created, I think that definitely affords some, I think, breathing room compared to, having to like be somebody who has existed and still exists, or having to like follow something to the T. I think that kind of changes that level of maybe like pressure or responsibility, but it also, like Dana said, I mean, Nancy was there every single day and she, was talking to me a lot and telling me a lot of things. And I think also just hearing that from her and hearing her story was really, it was very intense and very impactful. And I think being able to get that from her was, inevitably and unavoidably a huge part of, the movie.
Did you ever fall off the horse?
Did I ever fall off the horse? No, thank God. That would have been a really far fall.
Well,
But
yes,
what made it even more elaborate, I suppose, is Nancy's story with leukemia also had this incredible Centurion component that kind of saved her. So like it's woven in the whole story. So it's not just one component of it. It's so again, there's these things that are happening that just you've never heard happen before. But so it's and then we brought it together in this drama. But so there was not only it was the leukemia part, but then the horse, the training, what it meant to her, all these things were playing a role.
Yeah, when you're talking about like relationship between like a person and an animal, like that's really where this came from. It's like her relationship with, you know, the true story of this horse, and that's what makes, I think that being the true story element is what makes the story so remarkable.
Well, now, Amber, you've been very active in television and film for a while, but have you noticed recently when you're out in public, all people want to do when they come up to you is ask, what was it like working with a predator?
I don't know if that's the trend. Is that what you want to ask me?
Well, no, I was just curious because I've talked with actors and actresses over the years, and no matter what they've done in the past, it's the most recent thing that's in the public mind that they identify they
Yeah.
identify with, and there are people who think that you are out there being chased by a predator. I don't know. I mean, an extraterrestrial predator. We won't go into talk about the other kind of predators. But do you find you have a new level of visibility? Let's put it that way.
I don't know. I think it's definitely affected my life in ways that I mostly appreciate. And I think, I think it's definitely afforded me some creative opportunities that I'm really excited about. And I think beyond that, I mean, I still have people say stuff to me who are like fans of Legion. Like I have, I think I've been fortunate to be a part of things that I'm very happy about and that I'm really proud of. And so whatever that is that somebody, wants to talk to me about, I think it's exciting to know like which one they're talking about.
And Dana, when you heard about, maybe saw Prey,
Can we make this last question, please? Sorry.
Okay. Dana, when you saw that Prey was out and was a thing, did the thought go off in your head, oh, I'm going to get an even bigger audience for my movie?
You know what? I think Amber is amazing. I spent so much time with her, and I've seen her like do incredible things. That's she's going to go on to do even more incredible things. So did I take that one thing and say that? No, because I think she's amazing, and I used to watch her train on Legion. She had to do these like incredible stunt guy. I mean, she could do anything. So
Thanks, Dana.
I know that. So this is not the last of her for sure.
Oh no.
Dana's the first person who believed in me. There was a very difficult physical situation on Legion, and there was like a lot of chatter, and I was in another room and I heard it, and I was like 18, and I was just listening to all this chatter, and above everybody's voice I heard Dana yell, guys, she's gonna nail it. And I was like, yeah.
That's great. That's great.
So that's why we're here today.
Well, thanks to the two of you. You've been very generous with your time. Good luck with the film. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Oh, real quick. The reason I ask about the Predator thing really is years ago, I interviewed Kirstie Alley, and she said she only went to one Star Trek convention, even though she was in the second movie. And she was spooked out. People were coming up to her asking her in all seriousness, what is it like to travel at warp speed? I have no earthly idea.
That means she did her job well, because they believe that.
Well, see, you were convincing tangling ass with an alien. So there you go. Thanks a lot. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.